Cool, welcome everybody to this video where we're going to have a look at how to explore the WorldCup Graph with Neo4j Bloom. In case you've not met me, my name is Mark and I work on the developer relations team for Neo4j. Okay, so first of all, what is the World Cup? I imagine you probably don't need much introduction to this, but just in case you've missed any media in the last 2 weeks, this is what it is. So here's a few pictures from some of the games that have happened so far. And we decided that we would build a graph of the matches in the World Cup, and this is a model that we've created representing different things that happen in the World Cup. So you can see at the middle we've got the different tournaments, and those are represented by a node that has the label World Cup. Each country, over to the left hand side, can name a squad. So a squad is a set of players who represent a country, and then you can see that's connected to the country down in the bottom left hand corner. A player can be named in a squad, and obviously they can be named in multiple squads. So you could be in the squad for the 2018 World Cup, maybe also for the 2014 World Cup, and for the 2010 World Cup, and so on. A player can then make an appearance in a match over here on the right hand side. An appearance would just be, that's the sort of representing their country in a match, and so you can see the appearance has a connection to a match. And they could also score a goal in that match. Obviously they could score more than one goal. A match, if we come down here, then has countries participating in it, and the match can be played in a stadium, and the match is part of a World Cup tournament. And you can see there are also some other properties on the match. So the match, for example, has an ID, has a home score and an away score, and also has a round, which indicates, like, is it in the group stages, is it in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and so on. Okay, so that's the World Cup graph. If you want to play around with this, we've got this hosted on a Neo4j cloud instance, and it's at this URI up here, and you can log in with the username WorldCup, and if you type in :play World Cup -2018 queries, we've created a Neo4j browser guide for you to play around with. But for this session, we're going to have a look at Neo4j Bloom. So what is that? So this is a visualization tool to help people explore graph data where they don't necessarily want to write cipher queries. So where cipher queries made it really easy for developers to go and explore data, this tool is intended for everyone else. And hey, I've got some data, I don't know what it is, I want to figure it out. This is the tool to help you there. These are some examples of some screenshots of Bloom, and you can, if you want to get access to this, you can go to this URI and you can ask to get a key to play around with it. For now though, I'm going to switch into the Neo4j desktop so we can have a look at it in action. Okay, so I'll just start from this screen. So this is the Neo4j desktop, and you can see I've got a project here called World Cup Online Meetup, and I've connected it to that Neo4j cloud instance that I mentioned. So you can see here I've got my connection, and up here I've got Neo4j browser and Neo4j Bloom. So if we click on Neo4j Bloom, this is the window that we'll see. And what you would normally do, the first thing you need to do is create a perspective. So I've cheated a bit and done that already. So you go here and you can see the perspective that we've created. And this is kind of the way that you define what color should each label in my graph be. And so you can see we've chosen some different colors for each thing. You can also define what caption will show when nodes of that label are displayed on the screen. So I'm going to double click on match down on the bottom. And you can see for this one I've suggested when match is there, you should show the round and you should show the description. We can also choose icons. So I haven't got an icon for matches, but if I double click on goal, you can see I've chosen a little football symbol there. So you can double click on here and you can type in, for example, football, and it will come up with some options for you to choose from. I'm going to minimize this now. So that's the overview of what we've got. To query something, we need to type in a query in here. And you can see it's giving me a suggestion. So it's suggesting type in World Cup. And when you type it in, it will try and match that against something in the graph. So you can see here it's detected, okay, there's a label called World Cup. So let's click on that. Cool. Okay, so it's loaded up nodes representing each of the World Cups. We could obviously zoom in on any of these, but given we're in 2018, let's have a look at the 2018 one. And if we double click on that, we get a little window popping up here on the left hand side, which tells us what properties are there. So you can see it's not all that interesting at the moment. So we've got the name of the World Cup, we've got the year. We can also see what neighbors we've got. So if we click on there, we can see we're connected to 32 squad nodes, 54 match nodes, 2 penalty nodes. Those are matches that went to penalty shootouts, and 1 country. And if we go to relationships, we can see specifically how are we connected. And we can filter those down. So imagine we want to find out who's hosting this World Cup. We can click on that hosted by relationship, and it will tell us here 2018 World Cup is hosted by Russia. And if we want to see that visually, we can click on the reveal button, and then let's just close this. And we can see here now we've got 2018 World Cup hosted by Russia. Now imagine we want to get the hosts for all the rest of those World Cups. We could go and manually click on all the others and do the same thing, but that's probably a bit time consuming. So what we can do is, let's just guess, it's probably going to be something like hosted by. And there we go, so it picks up a graph pattern for the hosts. And we can click on that. And you can see now we get all the hosts for all the different World Cups. And some hosts have hosted more than one World Cup. Some have hosted just the one. Mostly, you'll remember that World Cups which are in the green on this diagram tend to be hosted by only one country. So 1994, one country, 1966, one country. The only one that doesn't fit that pattern is up here, which was the 2002 World Cup, which you'll remember had 2 hosts. What we're going to have a look at now, so that's how we can find the hosts for the World Cups, and we can obviously zoom in on the countries, and we can have a look how they're connected to other things, and you'll see all the different squads for the countries where the World Cups where the countries have represented, and we can see the matches they've participated in as well. What I want to do now though is see if we can find the World Cup final. So I'm just going to go here and clear the scene. So right click, clear scene, that gets rid of everything. And what we can actually do now is we can say, hey, from the World Cup, find me all the matches. Or not marches, find the matches, then match the round property, and it should say final, and then there's actually also a played in relationship from the countries who play in each match, and so you can see here we get a pattern. World Cup, it should be a match in the final, and get me the countries that participated, and you can see we get a bit more of an interesting graph now. And remember again, World Cups are in green, and mostly you should be seeing they connect to just the one match. There is one that stands out here, so let's see if we can find that one. So I think it's where exactly is that one going to be? So there's one World Cup where there are multiple matches matching finals. So it's down here in the middle. You can see there are loads of blue nodes connected to that one, which is a bit strange because you'd think, okay, a final should be one match. If we zoom in on this side, that's the 1966 World Cup final. Just by chance, that wasn't deliberate. That's only got one match between England and Germany. But you'll notice down here, this one here, 1950, has got loads of matches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches matching the pattern where the round property had final in the name. And the reason is, in that World Cup, it was a group stage thing, and whoever came top of the group won the World Cup. So that's a sort of interesting thing that we can find out by browsing graphs like this. You have to give me one more. Given that England are currently on a high, having managed to win a match, is can we find the England hat-trick scorers? So we can write quite a nice query to do that as well. So we want to find England, find their squads, find the players in those squads, find the appearances they made, and find the goals they scored. And we get back this type of graph. And you can see the ones in the blue are the goals that have been scored by England players, excluding penalty shootouts. And there aren't actually that many hat-tricks, so we should hopefully be able to spot them. So this looks like it might be one down here, where my cursor is. So it looks like, there we go. So if we click on that red button there, let's see what that was. So that would be Harry Kane. So you can see, there we go. We can click on Harry Kane in there. And Harry Kane got a hat-trick, and that was in a match versus Panama. So that was the most recent one. And we should be able to find some of the other ones as well. If we look for the places where the three blue circles are together. So it looks like maybe that's one. Now there's only a couple down there. I think is that Kane again? Okay, here we go. We've got another one in here. So we can move this one out. And you can see there's another hat-trick that was scored, and if we click on the appearance we can figure out who it was. So it was Jeff Hurst, so that's probably the most famous hat-trick. So you can see we can sometimes spot the patterns depending how it lays out, sometimes we can't. But one other nice thing that we can do is if we only want to find the hat-tricks, let's just clear this all out, we can write a search phrase to help us out. So I've created one earlier, so here we go. If we click on here, we can actually write our own cipher query to find hat-tricks by country. And it's a little bit more complicated than just typing it in there, but effectively we're just finding goals that have been scored Then we're filtering to only find where a player in an appearance scored 3, and then we return back those paths. So what we can do now is we can say find hat-tricks scored by country, and it will then give us some suggestions of countries. So for now we'll do England, and we fill in England, and then it'll come back with the 3 that we would expect. So we get Harry Kane, that's the one we looked at before. We've got Gary Lineker in there, and then we've got Jeff Hurst. Now we can obviously do other ones as well. So we could say, hey, find me Brazil hat-tricks. So we could do that. There's the hat-trick scored by Brazil. So we've got Pelé. I think that was in the 1958 World Cup final, but we can check that. So we can click on the match and reveal that. So actually, sorry, not the final, semi-final there. And then we've got another one down here, Leonidas. And that's the end of my demo of Bloom. So I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you want to play around with this or get a copy, neo4j.com/Bloom is the place to go.